Good morning, everyone. So a little bit late this morning. Damien is now safely into the Royal Cape Yacht Club marina, and you may have seen the live. Obviously incredibly disappointed, and he's out here now having a coffee with Ada on the balcony. So we'll catch up on some more stories later, but it was pretty self-explanatory. He's decided not to continue on in Chichester class. It's not the aim of the original challenge. He is very happy with the boat. The boat was all there, ready to go. He was really hyped and psyched up about the Southern Ocean, looking forward to the challenge, which was a new dimension for him, and obviously really disappointed that he lost the rudder and that things didn't work out with some issues with the hydrovane, so that's about all we can say. I suppose in essence they tried to, or there was the mods that were made were to try and improve the situation, and unfortunately it didn't work out quite the way everyone hoped. So a lot of passion there, a lot of determination, everyone on the PRB side doing the absolute best they can, and we're certainly going to miss them. PRB, great supporters of sailing and yachting. We're always excited when they came back into the 2022 edition of GGR, and it hasn't worked out right. But the GGR is brutal. We all know that. It's an extreme test of everything. It's to whole new dimensions. And Pat was there when Damien arrived. Similar situation. It's just one of those things. It's hard to talk about it actually. Ada and I discuss it. What can you say? You can't say anything. It's just what happens. And anyway, we're here now to talk about the tracker and everything that's happening. A few different things going on at the moment. We'll look at the tail end of the fleet. At least there's a bit of an airflow over most of the boats, and people are starting to move a little bit. We've been talking to some of the people down the club. They can't believe what's going on. Normally there should be screaming southeasters every day in Cape Town. That's not happening. Normally there's some constant airflows. Just have a big high there, and that's not happening. So very frustrating for the whole fleet, but particularly for the back end. So at the moment, this is real-time weather today, and Guy's doing 1.6 knots, so not moving very fast. And Arnaud's doing 4.5. At least he's got a reasonably good airflow there, and interestingly, he's not trying to get to the east. He's trying to come down southeast to get south, because that's where usually the breeze is. He's neck and neck with Robin at the moment. In fact, this update is for the 13th of November, so remembering he's a back marker for the fleet in relation to the gate, so it's all looking okay. Elliot went through a bit of weather. It wasn't too extreme by the look, but I'm sure he's got some stories. He's not missing his spinnaker right now. He's doing 7.3 knots. Right behind him, probably 30, gusting 35 or more, and the sea state be up around 4 or 5, maybe even bigger seas, 4 or 5 metre seas. Ian Herbert Jones is out of the big seas. Well, the seas will still be there actually. It takes let's have a look, because both of them are affected with this. It takes a while for the sea to die down. Yeah, quite solid. That's a good 5 metre seas, occasionally more. And Elliot's right on the edge. That'll be 4s and higher, 4 metre seas and higher. And it'll take some time for that to drop down, even though the wind will very quickly start to abate there and get them going. So Ian's been doing 5.8 knots, making good progress. And we'll talk about Jeremy and the other guys up forward, but I'll just throw this weather forward a bit. We'll go forward a day just to see what they're likely to get. This is tomorrow. You can see Ian's going to be light winds again. He'll be down here. Arnaud, light winds again. Guy may be into a bit of this and keep sailing, but not huge prospects for another solid day. Elliot will probably be on the edge of this and keep sailing. So that's 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And on the 16th, morning of the 16th, Elliot now has a bit of a light run, but the guys at the back getting breeze. So a bit of a mixed bag again. Okay, we'll go back to real-time weather. Here, let's look at the leaders, and then I'll come back to the middle of the fleet, because that's talking about estimated time of arrival for coming into Cape Town for Ayrton and Jeremy. So Simon, he's a bit out on that scale. I'll come back here. Wrong one. I'll come back one. Okay, Simon's got a good punch away then, but he's got this high pressure forming behind him. So at the moment, he certainly made good ground the other day. He's still doing 6.3 knots. That's a good thing. Tapio's doing 5.9 knots. And I think what you'll find here, the headwinds are increasing, right? This position was an average over the last 4 hours from 8 UTC. It's now, no, it's only an hour old, not even an hour old. So you won't be doing that kind of speed into that sort of wind that we're seeing there now. So it's obviously swinging fast. Kirsten's coming down on Port Tack, 5.7 knots. That's not too bad. And Abolish, I'm not sure what's going on here, because he's only doing 3.5 knots. It should be more, and he's actually sailing away from the mark. This is kind of strange, especially in that it's the last few hours, the last 4 hours of daylight. You know what I mean? I can't say he's gone to sleep. I can't say it's a wind shift. Maybe he's tacking downwind. It could be lighter for him than we're looking at. You know, and I know he'll be keen. If we look at the latitudes here, we put this in. That's the roaring 40s there. Hang on, just double check. Yeah, this is the roaring 40s. So even that, you know, it's not a bad position. I'm a bit mystified why he's heading that direction. So that'll play out in the next 4 hours, and we'll see where he's headed after that. But there was some funny stuff happening. You know, 12 hours ago, you can see Kirsten was heading up. That's when the wind was strong from the south, but it's moving very fast. Captain Goog's got a nice breeze coming down, 6.1 knots. He'll be happy. Dipping straight south. Let's just have a look at what the currents are doing, because the Agulhas current is out here. So Tapio got kicked north on that. I'll blow this up. You might just be able to see. Here's the reason why he's dipped down that way for Abolish. That answers that question. Okay, so Tapio came across here, and you can see as soon as he was in the middle, his course came up. He got pushed up, and this is what's happening here. Yeah, it's really hard to determine when you're in these sorts of currents. It's very powerful. That's probably 3 knots there, and if he was only going slow, that would have, you know, pushed him right down. Maybe it's the sea state as well, depending on the wind. The wind direction was, it's going with the current, so the sea should be okay. But yeah, there's something going on there, and we'll learn more as time goes by. But back to the currents again. Kirsten's pushed through. She got across that okay, but you can see there the course dipped down a little bit again over that period of time, and that's it. Good should be away from the current yet, not there. So he's just skirted the edge of this one. You can see it might have even sucked him in a little bit there. So he's got clear water until he has to go across the bottom here. Okay, and then Simon is down here somewhere, way across. He's pretty much out of it now for the next lot. Yeah, so he's pretty clean on that one. There's a big one here, boom, going around this way. It can have a bit of an effect, as we've discussed at length, so I'll get out of that now, come back to the wind, and let's see. I'll go back a little bit smaller so we can see what the progression is over the next few days for these leaders here. Okay, we've got the lot. Real-time weather today. I'm going to animate this forward every hour. You can see what's happening. Okay, so the back enders, they've got it's gone pretty much northwesterly here. Tapio's still got a northeasterly, but he'll just come down on Port Tack, so that's looking all right. There's a solid breeze for all these three, and it starts to increase, and we've alerted them to the fact that there may be some funny stuff coming here. It's a bit hard to say whether it's going to be super strong winds or just strong winds, so just to be sure, we have alerted them to this interaction here with these strong northerlies coming up, but it doesn't look too bad now. It's certainly softened off a bit from what we was expecting yesterday. When we get to here, Abolish and Kirsten are going to get a big push from behind. That's good, and Tapio's got a general swing everywhere, from a northeasterly around to a westerly over a period of time. It's spinning counterclockwise the wind direction, so they'll be okay with that. That's into the 15th, so it's tomorrow. Then we go into the 16th. It starts to lighten off again, but at least the wind direction's okay. Seas will be dropping down. They'll be quite big at the moment. You know, they'd be in the 5s and 6s as well. Same with Simon. And Simon doesn't want to go any further south because he's got the no-go zone coming up here, this orange patch. So he's sort of pretty happy there. So yeah, the good progress. So now to the last two, the next two guys, I should say, into Cape Town. Generally, not a lot of breeze. Jeremy would have got a little bit last night to keep him going, but what's he doing at the moment? Oh, sorry, wrong wind. Yeah, here it is here. So Jeremy should be getting a move on. He's 5.5 knots at the moment, and that's going to continue. Ayrton's been on the edge. He's been on the edge of this sort of low wind. He didn't do much at all last night. I was thinking he'd get in, we were thinking then sometime late tomorrow, but it may extend into tomorrow night because he's still quite a distance off. If we peg the distance right now, from here to Ayrton, about 200 nautical miles. If he made 5 knots, that's 140 miles a day, so 40 would be 70 miles, so that's another day and a half. So, and it's now 10 o'clock local time here, so it's 10 o'clock, day and a half here. Tomorrow night, if the breeze holds, and by the look of it, I'm not sure whether it will. So let's have a look at the weather now. Back into the wind, and we'll march this forward. See, these are going by the hour. Starts to fill in, so they should have good breeze for now. I'm sure Jeremy will start to turn as long as the sea allows him to turn. He's now well and truly in a position to come up from the southwest, and he knows that's what's required. So and Ayrton's the same. He knows now he should be going straight for Cape Town. So plenty of breeze there. This is coming in tonight. This is midnight tonight, and again yesterday was looking a bit more intense, so we alerted him. We said the message that you could be getting 35, gusting 35 higher with this breeze, and if the sea allows him, rather than go with it, he'll come up a bit, keep it on the port quarter. He's got to start making north now up into the range of Cape Town, and Ayrton will be following the same. He's got a good breeze there. It's going to be on the beam, but the sea shouldn't be too bad. He'll be pushing this. This is 7 o'clock UTC tomorrow, so he'll be happy with that. And yep, it's pushing him pretty well. It's either behind or on the quarter, going up to Cape Town. Jeremy's the same, so they've got a couple of days of a big push there. This is tomorrow night. Starts to go close in, quite close in. So but I think it's close enough. I think he'll roll through. So I would expect to see Ayrton in sometime late tomorrow, but probably in the dark. I think that's going to be part of the course, and if that was the case, if the breeze then holds for another day, it's going to go light. So that means it's going to be more than a one-day deal for Jeremy. It's on the 16th, has gone very light. So he may not get in on Wednesday night. It's a bit hard to call, but for now we'll say Wednesday night for Jeremy. There's a bit of breeze there, but it's a bit fluky up and down, and that's it. So that's pretty much it for now. There'll be a release going out soon on the latest from GGR with Damien retiring and all the other bits. More from plans and prospects for the future.